Welcome to Lesson 5 of Scrapbook.com's Tool Time class. I'm Rebecca Keppel with Scrapbook.com, and in this lesson, we're going to tackle the largest tool in this class, the We Are Memory Keeper's Cinch. True to all We Are tools, the Cinch is very user-friendly. All of the instructions are right on the machine. I personally used to own a different company's binding system, and hands down, the Cinch is the easiest to use. I'm not really into exact measurements and math, so the Cinch system makes it very easy to see where you are punching your holes and how to measure your project. First, let's take a look at the Cinch and complete a basic binding. We're going to do a basic 5x7 binding, and the easiest way I think to do the covers is to adhere the pattern paper that you want on your chipboard first. I have just a basic chipboard. You can purchase yours at the Scrapbook.com Superstore in 12x12 sheets and just cut it down to 5x7. I've also used some pattern paper from Chic Tag's Happy Place collection and also cut that down to 5x7. And I'm just going to adhere. We'll just do the front and back cover just to see how quickly you can bind the covers together. So adhere your pattern paper to your chipboard sheet. Do the same thing for the back cover. Okay, and then we're going to take a look at, again, all of the instructions for the machine are right on the machine itself. So there's not a lot of referring to a big heavy manual or pulling out rulers and guides and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. For using the Cinch, there's a lock on the handle. You can take that off and insert it into the side, and then the handle comes up. I'm going to show you here on the measurements. Right here, this tool slides in and out. You start with the tool pushed all the way in. You're going to insert your cover on the side that you want bound and push it all the way forward, and then pull your handle down and punch your holes. Now, you can see that it didn't punch all the way down. So if you want to complete the punches, you pull the measuring guide out and you refer to the instructions here. Your project is 6 inches or smaller, so you're going to start, as it says, with the guide in the original position and press and punch, which is what we just did. Now we're going to insert the second hole into this notch here. You'll see that this comes down and locks your project into place. So line it up and notch down, and then you're going to see which pegs you need to pull because you don't want to have half a punch hanging off your board. So for 7 inches it says to pull peg 2. Pulling peg 2 means that it will not punch peg 2. It's only going to punch on your board because it's 7 inches, that first peg there. So once you pull peg 2 and you have your project locked, you press and punch again. And then take off the lock and you'll see that it just punched that one extra punch. So we're going to do this again really quickly just to show you how easy it is for the back cover. We're going to insert the guide all the way in. We're going to push peg 2 back, insert your project all the way in, and punch. Okay, pull your measurement guide all the way out and insert the second hole into the notch guide. All right, then we need to pull peg 2 out and punch again. Push it back, pull up your notch guide, and now you have 2 covers that match. And you can see how easy it is to bind them with a spiral binding. All you have to do is start threading through the holes. This is it. For the O-wire bind, that's a little different. You do have to use the Cinch again to crimp the binding down. But for this type of a book, Very simple to just add your spiral binding. And of course you could take this out and put more paper in, and you could put in page protectors, you could put in envelopes to save memorabilia. But there you go, you have a bound book. And here's an example of one that I made with a little chalkboard cover from Jilly Bean Soup. And you can just take and draw on the little chalkboard there. And then I bound it with the same spiral binding. And when you look inside, I put photo corners from Thermoweb so that I could slip in a picture. And then he's got lots of white paper to draw pictures on. You can see that you can use the cinch with the O wires like this designer did, and basically she took the Heidi Swap file folders and punched them with the cinch and used the O wires to bind them to make this beautiful mini album. You can also use the O wires to make a wall hanging. All I did was attach 2 pieces of 12 by 12 chipboard covered in cardstock. Then I decorated one. I added little clips so that you could put photos or notes there. At the top, I put another O wire, and I cut out with my Cameo a piece of chalkboard vinyl so that you could write your notes. This could hang on the fridge, it could hang in your office, anywhere in your kitchen. And with the O wires on the top, I think it would be very easy to just hang it right on the wall on a little nail or a hook. Now, of course, binding books or wall hangings is probably the main reason you would buy a big machine like the Cinch. But bookbinding is not the only use for it. You could also use the Cinch for a notebook border punch. This technique is especially fun for a school-themed layout. The benefit of using the Cinch is that you could actually border punch through chipboard or something heavy like that, or even thick cardstock paper like this from Chic Tag's Schoolhouse line. It's very thick, and what I did was I border punched through and then I tore it with scissors. I'll show you quickly how it was done. Basically, all you need to do is pull your measurement guide all the way out, insert your cardstock or pattern paper, punch, and then you can trim it down. And if you take a scissor and insert it in the spiral hole and just pull like this, it creates the look of a torn notebook, which, like I said, is perfect for a school-themed layout like you see here. That concludes the 5th and final lesson of Scrapbook.com's Tool Time class. I hope you have enjoyed seeing the many uses of some of our favorite We Are Memory Keepers tools.